Hey, good morning. Oh my God, it's so bright out here. Good morning, everybody. It is Adrienne. Let me undo this. Hey, good morning. Thank you for tuning in on this beautiful, lovely Monday morning. I am so happy to be here and so happy that this is such a beautiful, hi, Coop 25. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. I'm out by the lake again. Hi, Crocomilo 5. Hello to everybody who's joining in. So I want to just jump right into it. I'm going to try to give people some time to come in. Hi. Hi, Miss Anissa. Hi, Emerson CH. Please go ahead and swipe and share with your Periscope followers and with your Twitter followers, especially if you're a woman entrepreneur. I have some cool things to talk about today. It's kind of bright out here. See if I can adjust this. I don't know. Anyway, so this Monday morning, and I woke up this morning and had some thoughts about what I wanted to share because I hadn't shared with you guys in a minute. But, I'm all about the Mogul Chicks chat, and I'm all about entrepreneurship for women. I'm all about growing businesses and scaling companies and becoming power CEOs and all that good stuff. And today I wanted to share some of that with you. But first I wanted to do a motivation kind of thing. A friend of mine, Marissa Levin, if you don't follow her, she's on Twitter at Marissa, Marissa Levin, Levin. She's a multi-million dollar company, tech company, and she is just killing it right now. And she is so inspiring. So I opened up my LinkedIn this morning after I had my Incubate to Accelerate session, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And Marissa had written this article on LinkedIn, and it is called How to Become a 20-Year Overnight Success. And then she puts caution, raw content. So if you've been an entrepreneur for a long time, you know that there are ups and there are downs, and there's good times, there's bad times, there's stressful times. Hi, John Penn. There are times that make you want to just pull your hair out. As an entrepreneur. I've been doing this for over 20 years. 1994, I opened my first company. So when I read Marissa's article, it's on LinkedIn. By the way, I did share it on my Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter at talentdiva, same as on Periscope, you'll see the article. Again, it's How to Become a 20-Year Overnight Success. And she goes through, she starts off with someone's making an introduction for her at the Inc. 500. I know you guys know about the Inc. 500 awards and the list that they have every September about the 500 top best companies, small businesses, that make the list. And she's been introduced as, allow me to introduce you to one of our region's most successful business icons. And she says, you know what? I love being introduced that way. She said, but I have to stop and think about it because it always hasn't been that way. And one of the goals that I have is to get on the Inc. 500. I've been saying that it's a personal goal. It's not something that I'll cry if I don't make it, but it's something I would love to be on because I like to know that I'm affecting change with entrepreneurs. But she says, this is a 20-year journey. And whenever people introduce her that way, she's like, she can't believe it that people would introduce her as one of the most successful business icons. And she looks back over her history of the struggle and the hard times and the failures and the abandonment and some of the things the personal challenges she listed. She had 2 brushes with cancer. She had death of loved ones. She being kicked to the curb by other women that she thought were her friends in her darkest hours. And I know you guys can relate to that too. Marital crisis, recovering from her son having autism, helping their 18-year-old navigate the grieving process of his friends, things like that. She said she's had personal, professional, of course, she's almost gone bankrupt several times with her company and, had to walk away from a company that she built over 15 years just to save herself. So, and she, all the while, all going through this, she had to reinvent herself. And I I know Marissa, so I know her story, and it still touches me, and I love her dearly. And I know that whenever I need to pick up the phone, I can pick up the phone and call her when I want to just kind of vent. But I share her story, and I share this, and I want you guys to go and read the article. It is on LinkedIn. Again, her name is Marissa Levin. But it goes to show you it's not overnight. And you can't give up because something goes wrong, and there have been plenty of times that I failed, and I've been very vocal about failing on my Periscopes, many times because I tell the truth, I'm transparent. But we go through that as entrepreneurs. That is part and parcel for this gig. There are going to be good times, there are going to be bad times, there's going to be ups, there are going to be downs, but it's how you weather it, how you manage it that determines how you pull through it. You know, there's nothing easy. Nothing is handed to you in this life, and you have to work hard to do it. Now, I want to talk really briefly to her thing about being abandoned by other women and entrepreneurs she thought were her friends. When you're going through this, and sometimes you're the first one or one of few in your company to actually be an entrepreneur, and it's hard for people to understand that if that's not where they come from, they don't understand what it takes. They don't understand that you have to eat, breathe, sleep. You have to inhale. You have to consume your whole life with your business, especially in the very early. This is why I teach people the principles about how to go from owning a business to running a company. Because when you get to that level where you run a company, you're no longer dependent. Well, the business is no longer dependent on you to function. And I know that a lot of us want to get there. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a small business. Some people want to stay small, and that's fine, because small business, I believe, is the backbone of the economy, and we have such potential. But how much of yourself can you give at one time as one person? Even if you have 2 or 3 people working for you, you still are very heavily tied to the company. So I always tell people to give yourself a timeline to divest yourself from your business. 18 months, 2 years, groom someone in the interim to become CEO. I think a lot of people fall in love with the title of CEO. And yeah, I'm still CEO, but I'm switching it to chair and founder because I'm going to find a CEO to take over for me eventually. But you have to break out of this thing where you have to do it yourself. Now, back to what she was talking about abandonment. Again, when you're the only one or one of few or new to your family to be an entrepreneur, it's going to be hard, and it's going to feel like you don't have that support. But you know what? That is when you go and you find a team of kick-ass people that you can connect with. I call them power connections that you connect with. Hey, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much. Find those people who will be in your corner, who are going through similar things to you and understand the life of an entrepreneur. So, you don't have to be discouraged because your family doesn't understand. You don't have to be discouraged because your friends would rather shop or hang out and they don't understand that this is what you do. This is how you live. This is how you eat. This is how you breathe. So don't be discouraged by that. Make sure that you embrace that and get around other people with the same mindset. But that was part of my motivation for this morning. You can overcome anything. Go ahead and visit Marissa Levin, Marissa Levin, Levin, on Twitter, and also her LinkedIn. I posted her LinkedIn article on my Twitter, which is Talent Diva. So let me just back up and tell a little bit about who I am for those of you who just joined. I'm Adrienne Graham. I am the founder and CEO of Empower Me Corporation, which is a business growth strategies consultancy. And what we do is help people, small businesses, go from small business to running a company, to become a profitable, scalable, revenue-generating company. Build out teams, workforce planning. We help tighten your operations. We make sure that you have a power brand. We make sure that you're doing all the things, all the unsexy things, the infrastructure of the business to make sure that you grow and scale a company so that you are not the one running the show. We want a profitable business that's generating a lot of revenue, so we need to be hands-off and hire people who can do that for our companies. That's who I am. That's what I do. Now, talking about your ideal client and targeting, a lot of people, especially when you get to startup phase, they want to cast a wide net. And they figure the bigger the numbers, the better they are, the better they'll do. That's not true. That is not true. You cannot do that. When you start casting a wide net, you spend more time shaking out that net and getting down to the couple of people that you want. So let's look at it this way. Everybody talks about your funnel. Your funnel. You bring in a whole mass of people into the top end of it. Maybe say 100 people. You filter it down. They like the content that you share. Maybe a couple will stay on. Maybe you're down to 50. Then you get down to where it's time to make purchases, and maybe 25 will buy a low-end product. But when you want to sell that signature, whatever service it is that you offer for your business, the thing that makes your business, not talking about ebooks, not talking about courses or webinars. We're talking about what your skill set is. Like if you're a recruiter, it's recruiting services. If you are a stylist, it's styling people, fashion style. If it is a hair stylist, it's getting people in to do their hair for them. Not the how to do, or here's a book to show you why you need and things like that. That's good stuff to retain people's attention it doesn't turn them into buyers, right? So we're talking about the people who make it to the very bottom end. So out of that 100, you filter down and maybe you have 3 people that are ready to buy from you. You've exhausted all of this energy. You have done all of this, jumped through all of these hoops to get to sales. Now, it's not about the numbers, but it kind of is. Because if you want to grow a company, something that services, that puts out a result, a solution, solves problems for your customers, and get the big sales, you got to focus on those people who absolutely want and need and are willing to pay for what you offer. So there's nothing wrong with the funnel if you want to build an audience. Build an audience. Yes, build a community, build an audience. We'll talk about that some other time. But here's the thing. You want clients. You want paying clients. And if you're still on this broadcast, it's because you want paying clients. Of course, we all want paying clients. So what I would suggest is you learn all that stuff, that funnel, sales technique, marketing, and all that. But guess what? As a CEO, this is real talk here. As a CEO, it is not your job to do marketing. It is not your job to do sales prospecting. You should have capable people in place to do those processes for you. So that way, once everybody is vetted, when they get to you, they have already been vetted. You know that this is what they need, and you are the solution for them. And a lot of people miss that. Everybody buys these, and there's nothing wrong with it. I think there's some phenomenal people out there that teach you about marketing strategies and branding and all of that good stuff, and it's great. But guess what? If you don't have the infrastructure in place, if your service or your product is crap, all the marketing in the world is not going to help you. So this is why you have to work on what your product or service is first, then focus on getting clients. But even before that, let me share something that really has worked for me in the past. I'm a listener. I listen to the conversations that are going on out in the community. I listen to the business community and the internet and the social media world and everything, and listen to what people's struggles are. So if you decide that you're going to do an information product, which I'm not a big person on, then at least first listen to what's they're asking for. What are they talking about? What is their pain point? And then build something around that, because there's no such thing as if you build it, they will come. Nothing. Don't ever believe. If somebody tells you that is not cool. You have to focus on listening to what people want. Then you take that and tailor your services and your products around what their wants are. Because when you do that, people are more inclined to buy from you. They're more likely to say, okay, I want to do business with that person, because you listen to what they need. You understand their needs. So this is why it bothers me a little bit when people are so quick to say, okay, well, I need to build my list. Okay, no, you need to build your targeted client list. What are their pain points? What are the problems that they're talking about? What kind of solutions they wish that they had that they cannot achieve themselves? So here's the thing, another thing. A lot of times people create these DIY solutions. Those are okay for the lower hanging fruit. Hey, Admired Red Rose. Those DIY solutions are okay for people who are not planning to spend any money. But when you have a business where you can affect major change within that client's company, that's a whole other level. It's a whole other ball game we're talking about. So what I want you to do is focus on how can you tailor these services and products to those clients that absolutely need and want you. People who are ready to say, hey, okay, I'll give you an example. I don't like doing my own taxes at all. I am not the person who wants to DIY with my own taxes. Got in trouble with that before, got hit with a penalty, and got that cleared up. But I'm not that person. So to me, if I went to a bookkeeper or a tax accountant, thank you, appreciate that. If I went to a tax accountant, I'm not looking for them to give me an ebook to show me how to do my own taxes. That's not going to get me. I need my taxes done right now kind of person. I need that solution right now, and I don't want to be the one to do it. So that means I'm not going to my tax accountant and say, give me an ebook or give me this online course that I could do or give me this webinar. I don't want that. I want you to do my taxes for me. Those are the kind of clients that you need to be targeting. The ones that say, I need somebody else to do this for me. That is how you should tailor and target your clients, because when you start with all of this funnel, it could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be 18 months. You never know how long it takes for you to convert. I don't care how good your content is, and I don't care what people say about that. Okay, I've been at this a long time, and yes, I do create content. Yes, I do have stuff, but remember, those are lower hanging fruit. Those are like, okay, passive revenue. We're talking about making you the big money, getting clients that are going to pay those big lucrative contracts. You have to be solving their problem, not directing them to read an ebook, not directing them to a webinar, not directing them to any DIY. You want to focus on the clients who need these problems solved by someone else yesterday. That is what you should, if you take away nothing else from this Periscope, that is what you should be focusing on. I'm not telling you to abandon list building and funnels and all that other stuff, but just know that's secondary stuff for you. You want to work on your primary. You have primary. For me, I have primary services that I offer. There's secondary services, and then there are tertiary services, third level, where those are like the low-hanging fruit for the lower price who just want to maybe buy books or maybe want to buy a CD. My primary services are for people who need stuff done now. They need it taken care of, and they don't have the skill set or the inclination or the energy to do it themselves. Those are the people you need to be targeting because they are your ideal clients. It's true that people come through the funnel can be converted, but do you want to jump through hoops or do you want to do business? You know, people who walk into Neiman Marcus, they know what they're shopping for. They know what they're looking for. They know that they're prepared to spend high prices on high quality. They know what they're looking for. Neiman Marcus targets them. Neiman Marcus doesn't put out newsletters and ebooks and things like that for Walmart shoppers. They don't. And forgive me for being blunt, it's the truth. That's the way it is. I promise you guys, whenever I do Periscope, I was only going to bring you straight up, no chaser, and give you things that are going to help you rethink and reimagine the way you grow your business. I'm not selling anything. I don't, it's not my thing to sell anything. I have things going on, but that's not the purpose of my scope. My scope is to make you rethink, stretch your mind, open your mind to different experiences, and getting out of the hamster wheel that you've been in trying to get clients. Because I guarantee you, over 70% of the people on these Periscopes are sitting here trying to figure out, how am I going to get people to pay for my services? How am I going to get real clients? How am I going to get rid of the tire kickers? How am I going to get rid of people who want to just pick my brain? By doing what I just told you to do. You got to super target, super focus. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. If you're really getting anything from this, go ahead and swipe and share and bring other people on because they probably need to hear this too. So, you got to focus on that. The other tip I would share with you is when you get these clients, well, it's a no-brainer. Of course, I don't even have to say that you have to wow them in order to keep them, because I'm like this. You get one chance. If I like the service enough, maybe 2 chances, but you mess up, that's it. I'm done as a customer. I'm not coming back. So you keep in your mind, you got one shot. What they say, you got that one chance to make a first impression. You better kick it out the park. You better kick butt when you get these clients, because these are the high paying clients that you're getting. These are not tire kickers. These are not people that are just want to read a book and all this other stuff. These are people who are going to be like, let's do business. They're serious, and these are the people you want to work with. The other thing I would say is network profusely to find these clients. Word of mouth. Let me tell you, word of mouth has been the number one marketing tool for me and my business. I am blessed. It hasn't always been like this, but I think this is knock wood, word of mouth, because I over deliver and I under promise. I make sure that I put it out there. And you guys, I just do I hold back on these Periscopes, so you can imagine how I do with my clients. But, I built a reputation. I got to know people, and people got to trust me and understand how I worked, what I did, how I can fix their companies, how I can get them to the level where they want it to be. And I listened to them. A lot of times you have people who are consultants or coaches or trainers, and they're giving the customer, telling them what to do. And they're giving them the directive and saying, you need to do this, 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 and this. Now, there's a little bit of that in what I do. But I step back and I listen for the whole picture. I listen for the big story. I want to know where the customer has come from. what path they're on now and where they're headed. That allows me to help chart their course, because I want to change that trajectory. Because if they're coming to me, obviously whatever they have been doing hasn't been working, and they want to take it to another level. So I listen. I don't just push what I think is right on my customers. I'm very consultative, and they are part of the process. Even with my implementation services, because there's a level of my service where my team goes in and does it for them, like recruitment process outsourcing for one. That's something that I don't make my clients do. We come in, we take over that piece of the business, and we run it. We do it for them. So even with stuff like that, where we're implementing, I still listen to what their needs are. Because when you listen, you never know what other needs might spawn from there. So you got to listen to them. When you get them, you got to listen. And that helps build that power network, because they'll come back and they'll talk about, oh, well, Adrienne helped me do this. She was instrumental in my business being able to gross this amount. We grew this percentage this year because working with Adrienne, because I listen. Then I put in what my 3 cents, what I do, my strategies, and we work together. I do something called a strategy day. And I think most consultants do this, but mine works like this. It's a full day. The first half of the day, I work with the CEO or the owner of the company. The second half of the day, we have the entire team together. Because my thing is, I want to get the CEO's vision. I want to get the owner's goals, their visions, what they see for their company long term. Once we get that clear, then I bring the team on, their team, so we can articulate that vision, and then we start working out strategies. We sit down, we brainstorm, we map things out, we pull strategies, we sit and see what scenarios work, we test case. We do different things with our clients so that they understand that we're all in. Because when I work with a client, when my company, we work with clients, we're all in because we're just as invested as you are. Number one, because we get paid to get results. If we don't get results, we're doing something wrong. Number two, because you get results, that means you trust us enough to come back and help you with other things. And then it makes you trust us enough to refer us to other clients. See how that works? The whole networking and trust and listening and everything all ties in together. So you gotta look at it like that. There's a lot of great content out there on the web, on Periscope, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, Facebook, all of that. But a lot of it is kind of rehashing the same stuff, the low-level stuff that you need to do, the set it and forget it kind of thing. And listen, when you're in business, especially in the very beginning, there's no such thing as set it and forget it. I done said before, I don't believe in the 4-hour work week. And that's okay. If that's what you believe in, that's fine. That means that you're not where I am. You don't have the same values and principles that I have regarding your business. And that's fine, because everybody to each his own. But hard work, I posted something the other day. It said, there's no elevator to success. You got to take the stairs. Honey, I've taken the stairs over 20 years. I have been blessed in my career. I wrote for Forbes. I've been in Forbes. I've been in Fortune. I've been on MSNBC. I have been in Black Enterprise 5 times. I've been in Essence. I've been in Jet. I've been in Financial Times. I've been in, Fox Small Business. There's so many things that I've been in smaller journals and blogs and things like that too. I've been on the radio. I've been on TV. I've been in magazines, and you don't get to that level unless you understand the business landscape, number one. And number two, you provide value for people. And that's what I do, And I do these Periscopes. There's no charge for these Periscopes. I do them for free. Again, because I want to open your mind and expand your thought process and change the trajectory. I want to reimagine the way you grow your business. Because everybody else is going right. Sometimes you need to go left. And with these tips that I share with you guys, it's to say, try something different. See if this works for you. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. You try something else. What works for me doesn't work for you, or what works for you may not work for the next person. But if you open your mind enough, if you explore other options instead of being locked in to one way to do things, look at what you can do. Look what you can accomplish. I posted something else yesterday that said, Grace Hopper said, the most dangerous phrase in this language is, but we've always done it this way. And I've never been the type of person, my mama can tell you she got gray hair because of me. I'm telling you, I'm 46 years old, love it every year. I've earned every one of those years. But even now, my mother's like, Lord, what is she doing now? because I've always been that free spirit. I've always been that one to question authority and question the way things are done. And I'll try things. I'll try almost anything once. But then you got to put your spin on it. You got to put your spin on it, especially when you're trying to get clients. Because even though, let's say that 3 of you here are wedding planners, it doesn't mean you all do it the same way. You see? So you have to always open your mind, and you never know, by you opening your mind and being open to different ways of doing things, you may beat out on that next bid, beat out the other 2 people on that next bid for a gig, for a wedding contract. So you never know. You have to be open-minded when you're targeting your customers. The last tip I guess I can share is, get in front of where they're going to be. Honestly speaking, I love conferences, I love networking events, but I do them in moderation. I make sure that there's going to be an end goal for me. I make sure that there's going to be people there that I know that fit into my ideal client. Speaking of, I wanted to share something with you, because this is something I'm going to be going over in the growth clinics. I take a lot of notes. I write everything down in my notebook, my trusty notebook. I always write things down, and in my iPad. In the growth clinics, we're going to be doing something called the avatar, the client avatar. And there are 4 basic identifiers, 4 different things we flesh out in that. One is, who are they? Who the client is, what's their background? Number 2, what do they need? What's their pain point? What's their goals, their challenges? Number 3, why do they need what they need? What's the problem? What led them up to this point? And number 4, oh my goodness, how I message them in my marketing, And then number 5, of course, is how do I close them? But those are different. That's like the framework of building your perfect client avatar. Once you understand who that is, and this is what I tell people. I mean, we get into in the growth clinic more about fleshing that out. But what I tell people is close your eyes, and think about what that person looks like. If it's a woman, what does she look like? How does she live her life? How does she go about her day to day? Things like that. What are her objectives? What are her goals? What are her pain points? And we flesh all of that out in the growth clinics. But that's something that we're going to be doing in different cities. We are going to Miami and Charlotte and Atlanta and Chicago and Dallas and DC, couple of places, New York. But you got to understand who your client is, because once you are laser focused, you understand, you're clear at who your client is, man, oh my God, it becomes so much clearer and so much easier. And then it helps you filter out who you do not want to work with. And I know in the beginning, some people are I need clients, I need a check. I'm here to help you step back from needing a check and focus on servicing the clients to the best of your ability and attracting the clients that you absolutely want to work with and who need to work with you. And most importantly, can afford it. Got to get clients who can afford you. So that's kind of what I wanted to share about your client. I know we had some people fall off. I think my connection is kind of shoddy today. But if you stayed this long, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, don't be discouraged because people don't understand, and you don't feel like you have that inner circle that has your back. You can always jump on here and I can give you support, give you some more support. You can always find people who are of like mind to network with them. But always keep this in mind. Networking costs. It's an investment. And you have to be willing to put that investment in, because if you're constantly staying around the people who are not getting you any further and you're not investing any money, think about that impact. Think about what that says. When you step away from those people who are not fulfilling you and you start investing in yourself, you get around a better pool of people, better quality of network, and amazing things can happen for you. So just think about that. But that's what I wanted to share today. It's kind of hot, but I need to get back to my work. And I wanted to tell you guys about my Incubate to Accelerate program, which kicks off in February 2016, the next cycle. We're currently in a cycle now. And this morning I have five companies that are in there right now, and 3 of the 5 had like these amazing breakthroughs this morning. Now I can't share everything because it's confidential, but oh my God, it was so incredible. We meet at 7:30 in the morning on Mondays. And it was just amazing. It was like all this work has finally poof, this aha moment for them. And it's so great because I feel like the mama bird and my baby chicks are like blossoming. But yeah, if you want to check out Incubate to Accelerate, it is ia.empowerme.org. If you are looking to grow and scale your company, if you're looking to become investment ready, you need to check it out. The second cycle launches in February 2016. And you can go to ia.empowerme.org or send me an email if you have any questions about it, info@empowerme.org, or tweet me at talentdiva on Twitter. If you want an application, the application is free. It does cost to be a part of the program, but the application and interview process is free. We're only taking 10 companies for this. If you're interested in the growth clinics, those are 2-day weekend intensives that we're gonna be doing, and those are $497, and they're kind of like a boot camp version of Incubate to Accelerate. Yeah, that's the best way I could put it. So, but anyway, make sure you check out my website, empowerme.org. Incubate to Accelerate is ia.empowerme.org, and I'll check you guys out next time. Thank you for tuning in and joining, in the hearts and the love.